I mentioned before in the last video, I'll just repeat it just in case. You notice Brett's shirt has a pink line. Sorry, it's not black. Okay, and it has orange on the back. So basically I was mentioning that when Brett wants to use his large body parts, when you want to use large body parts, use your legs, hips, and shoulders, there's sometimes some balance issues. So this line here, I said, imagine it being like when I told you, when your dad was doing all the work in his kitchen, he was balancing the cabinets, he has to make sure they're straight. So I want you to try and balance, have great rotation, but not be falling all over the place. So that's what that line represents. And when I'm standing at the net, to make sure that your racket is not being pulled out of the hitting zone, because you had a tendency of letting your shoulders open to this point, not open anymore, then the racket will start pulling up, then you start firing your hands. My goal is to get shoulders all the way down, including the hips, including the legs, to make the hitting zone as big as possible so you can hit that heavy ball. If I can see the orange on your shoulder when you're finishing, I'm going to say yes or no. Okay, so if you hit that ball, and I see the orange on the shoulder, I know the racket is going right through the hitting zone. Okay? So I'm going to give you about 10 to 15 balls. And you get to keep that shit as well. Up. Okay? Basically what I'm looking for is the shoulders working down the court. Okay, maintain that balance. Very nice, much better. Yeah. That's it. Almost looking right through. Very nice. Up. Yes. Let the hands go a little more. Okay? Put your hands going pretty right up. Okay? So having a tendency to want to wrap it up. I'm going to do different skills for that. While I'm doing this drill, can you swing slower? So I actually want you to swing slow. Still get the rotation to hit the ball on. Okay? Now this actually will go flat up. Okay, good. Your hands go up. The sensation you want to have is, when we're talking about this, when I hit the ball, I have this rotation, but I'm almost looking down. See how my arm is almost straight up in front of my body? I can't have a bigger hitting zone than this. There's no way. I want to imagine I'm looking down like I think it was a barrel of a gun. It's almost like a scope, it's a barrel of a gun. Ready? If you can see this, I'll show you the difference. Come up there for a second. You can keep going. Okay, we're going. Fast. Right, I want you to see this. When I set up, I'm hitting the forehand, so I have the leg segment. I have the hip segment. If you look at all the squares on the net, that can almost be like a ruler for how big my hitting zone is. So like I mentioned, I want to have my hands sticking. I want to look down my arm like it's a barrel of a gun. So when I'm hitting this tennis ball, as I'm rotating, you're getting to here. When you get to here, you watch how many squares I'm on the net for. It starts pulling out and you're firing your hands. And this is part of the problem why we weren't able to keep it going for the second, third set. Where, if I'm hitting the ball, I'm letting our racket go as long as I can. There's me looking down the barrel of the gun, and that's the arm being straight out from my body. But to do that, the hip, leg, hip, shoulder, shoulder, you can let go. Okay, that's going to give you the longest hitting zone, and it's going to make the ball heavy for a long period of time. So you can just look at it as a ruler. One more time, like here it is, my shoulders get to here, and my hands fire. I don't know how many squares I get there. Okay, and you can see my rack starts to pull out of the hitting zone. But if I keep my shoulders moving down the court and my leg, I get how much more? Yeah. So like I said, that gives me the big barrel of the gun, allows me to hit the target, and allows me to be on top of the guy the entire match. Okay, does that make sense? We're going to do a lot of work on your balance. I'm not necessarily sure the pink line works for Heat. We had a shirt once with two lines going in both directions, and I was looking at how level his shoulders were when they're coming through. So he has another shirt in his bag where there's a line here and a line here. But basically, it was legs, hips, shoulders working down the court. I'm going to give him a few more where I actually want to see if he can slow down how much he swings and still get the ball to be underneath the pylon, at least land near the baseline or past the service line. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, we'll keep it running for a little bit. So if you can swing slow right, you might want to practice slightly later, and then you just want to let your shoulders go way down the court again. Okay, nice and slow. Okay, very nice. Here we go. Maybe even slower, let's play with it for a bit. Nice and long. But when you're doing this, as you do my problem, while you're doing this, instead of letting it open up, try to see it really on top. Almost like that line is going to be on top of the impact point. Okay? Again, try again. getting the ball to land way past, you're getting the ball to land way past the surface line. You're getting the ball. Sorry, you can tape running, it's fine. Brett's actually getting the ball to land past the surface line based on these swing slow. So, I don't know, next little progression I'm going to use, I can even do it here. I don't necessarily have to be on that side. Okay, is I'm just going to give him a progressive ball. And you got to now put the ball underneath the pylon. Let's have some fun, right? Come on. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a progressive ball, and I just want to see if you can still get the ball underneath. Now can you get that ball past the service line? Again. Okay, good. You get near the baseline. Okay, with all that technique, we're going to focus on Brett now. So I'm going to create a goal for you. I'm going to adjust a little bit. I'm going to drop this. Okay, a little nicer. So it has to be either the pylon lower. It's just so you feel like you're grabbing the ball and you're pushing hooks off the shelf. You can do your normal swing, but I want to really see the legs hit the shoulders because we're trying to hit that heavy ball. Now can you take this ball past the service line? There it is. Again, really good technique. Again. Yeah, good. Bring your shoulders right around. Belly button past the pole again. Very nice. Again. Okay, a little bit higher. Good. Again. Okay. There it is. Shoulders go. I could use red balls. He's now being successful with these balls. I could use red balls. I could use the green dot balls and make a different challenge. But all these things were to do what? Use your body to do what? Yeah, for how long? Okay, so Brett and I have known each other for a while. He just mentioned we're talking about how we're going to use our body segments, starting with what? What's first when we're working from the ground up? Okay, so from your legs to where? Okay, so you agree with me? You feel that sensation? I mentioned to him to think about the hitting zone as a ruler, to think about when I hit the ball, I'm looking down my arm like that could even be another progression we could do, Brett, is where we're playing tennis, even if we're swinging slow, when I finish, I put my arm straight out and I get that feeling of the shoulders coming down the court, okay? So just some progressions right now for Brett to hit that heavy ball for a long period of time. I felt that when we first did our first measurement, maybe 13 out of 10 was a little too easy. So maybe I could make it a little tougher. We could do another set and come up with a baseline where you are hitting the ball over the net. Okay, so we'll stop that for a bit.